Gary Parrish. Welcome back, CBS Sports Eye on College Basketball Podcast, where we sometimes discuss camel fighting, dodo birds, and leaky black. The Eye on College Basketball Podcast is presented by Jersey Mike's, proud sponsor of the Naismith Award. Jersey Mike's would like to offer congratulations to all of the athletes on the watch list. Matt Norlander is here with me. He's hiding behind a bracket. If you're watching on YouTube, honor Brandon Davies. Smash that like button. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the Eye on College Basketball Podcast, please also do that wherever you subscribe to podcasts like Apple and Spotify. Let's get into it. This is our annual bracket preview show, which is not to be confused with our annual bracket breakdown show. Two very different things. Sunday night equals bracket breakdown.
Is it?
Monday afternoon equals bracket preview. And I want to start by circling.
Hold on. I think Tuesday we're going to have a bracket look ahead, first round look ahead. There's another one coming. Don't even know yet. I'll figure that one out when we're done with this one. But it's going to be different. We're giving you as much content as possible.
Yeah, I think we've got to the point in the season where we're going to figure out the next thing when it's time to do the next thing. Right now, we're just trying to get through this thing. So So let's take it one at a time. Bracket breakdown late Sunday, done. Bracket preview right now, in progress. Whatever happens tomorrow, happens tomorrow. I want to start by circling back to this Florida-Houston situation down in the South region. I'm kidding.
But I will say I heard from a few folks, and it's split. I heard from when I say few, I say four. Two agree with me, two agree with you. So there we go.
I didn't look at the chat with any sort of detail, but I glanced at it at some point, and I saw both of these things. I said, man, Parrish is an idiot, and then I saw, man, Norlander is an idiot, and so then and then when I saw, I agree, I think, and then I saw Parrish is right, and then I saw Norlander is right. So a good conversation, I guess.
On that note, by the way, we can get rolling here. I really don't use IG a ton. I post here and there, but I know now that we're in game picking season, bracket season, they're doing the collabs and they're pulling videos of you and me and all of our CBS crew here. And so they had me do all this stuff for social, pick your bracket, give me your Cinderella, all this. And as always, just don't read the comments because my wife gets a kick out of it. My brother has shared a few things, I think, on Instagram and all this. And she goes, how much are they calling you an idiot? I was like, I don't even look. I already know it's there. But I was like, you know what? Just for you, I'll bring it up. And instantly I bring up, I think it was my team ranking. So that I ranked the 1 to 68 field. They put it in graphic form. It looks beautiful. It looks wonderful. And the first three are all gifs and memes of this guy's an idiot. Here's a guy who doesn't know ball. It's just one after another. Drag me as long as you need to. I don't even care. I'm about to pick 67 games on this podcast, and it's going to be a disaster. That is part of the fun. You lean into the bit.
This is where I have a real blind spot for the way the world works today, because I cannot imagine myself jumping on Instagram and calling anybody an idiot for any reason. I just don't care enough about whatever you're saying or doing on Instagram. I don't care enough to weigh in. The best you're going to get out of me is a heart. If it's a cute picture of your kids, I'll get you a heart. All right. I might type congrats if you had a baby, but outside of that, I got nothing to say. And yet every day I wake up and just strangers just call you the worst things. I can't, I don't understand.
Seems healthy for the planet for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's evidence that the planet's definitely heading in the right direction. All right. Let me tell you what we're going to do today. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to pick every game, real or hypothetical, that we have in our brackets that have been published at cbssports.com. Yeah. One of us will stick to the bracket that you might have seen on cbssports.com.
One of us will definitely not be doing that.
And one of us will just, say opposite things. That way he can, always say
I'm not playing both sides.
He had it right somewhere.
I'm going to make some slight tweaks today. And you know what? I'm going to probably make some more tomorrow. So you're going to get what I'm getting right here. As always, the CBS Sports app, cbssports.com, expert bracket picks. Where I land, call it midday Wednesday. then we're good to go. But in all seriousness, I think the majority of what you will hear me say on the show today is going to be what my final bracket is. I reserve the right to maybe tweak one or two more after this.
Okay, so if there's one thing I know about how this works, you pick UMBC on the podcast, you pick Howard on the website. You can say, "Yeah, I had Howard, I had UMBC." Yeah. Whatever you need to say, you can say it. Yeah. I know you. Hey, you ain't so slick. All right, we're on to you. We're on to what you're up to. Hey, let's start in the East because it's the one in the top left, and that's the way my brain works. So here's what we're going to do. Start in the East, top left. Then we'll go counterclockwise, and eventually we'll make a complete circle. And by then we will have each picked 67 games, some of them real, some of them hypothetical. And by the end of this, you're going to know who we think's going to the Final Four, who we think's winning the national championship. My intention is to go 67-0.
Well, that won't be happening.
You don't know.
I do know.
Don't put a ceiling on me.
We'll actually bet my life on it.
People have been putting a ceiling on me my whole life. People have been doubting me my whole life. Now look at me. Look at me now. I mean, look at me now.
I mean, if you can pull off 60 wins, it's going to be all-timer stuff.
I'm going 67-0. Don't put a ceiling on me. I've been doubted before.
This is the guy who once said UConn would never lose again.
I didn't think they were the way the UConn fans were talking. I mean, the coach was saying he's the best coach in the sport, and the fans were like, "Yes, he is." I was like, "I guess they'll never lose again." Mm-hmm. I was wrong. What do you want? I was wrong. What do you want to do? Right. Anyway, I plan on going 67-0, but you can go first in the East if you want to.
Let's bring up that bracket, Josh. If you're watching on YouTube, you can. We're gonna do some interactive stuff as we go along here. Right into the East we go. That is our interface, by the way. That's the UX for the bracket stuff at CBSSports.com on the CBS Sports app. We will have, I'm glad I thought of it now. We are going to have, as always, a Eye on College Basketball bracket games group on CBS Sports. We will send links out to that on every social channel. Josh, if we actually have the capability in this podcast description after the fact, if need be, go ahead and send folks a link if it's even possible in the chat. I don't know if it is. Let them know. We want to compete against you, see how you can do. We've had some really crowded entries the past few seasons. Let's do it again. Let's get rolling.
I will compete against anybody in a bracket challenge except Miami, Ohio. Not going to play them. Not going to play them. I refuse to let them.
It is against NCAA rules for people that play for Miami and coach at Miami to participate in our bracket games. So I think we're good to go there. All right, let's go to the East. Duke versus Siena. You know where I'm going here. We don't need to talk too much about it. Duke gets done and moves on along. Okay, Ohio State, TCU. You got the Horned Frogs, a team that has had some really nice wins this season, some interesting losses. Horned Frogs are 43 at Ken Pom. Ohio State going into this game, Buckeyes 26. There's a market difference there. TCU's got some good defense to it. I love David Punch. He's a sophomore, 6'7", super smart forward. He's really the guy that if TCU's going to win this game, I think can have a huge impact. He is much watch. I'm going to go Ohio State. It's got a better offense. It's not just Thornton who's really good. John Mobley is a 42% three-point shooter from deep. Between those two, there's excellent range overall. And Kristoff Stilly, he's been getting better as the season's been going along as a 7-footer inside. So I'll take Ohio State to move along. Going on down, I'm going to take Johnny's here over Northern Iowa. I thought Northern Iowa was going to land as a 13. They get there as a 12. Ben Jacobson's a really nice coach, but boy, I mean, with the way that the Johnnies have been playing in their physicality, I don't see the 12 over 5 there. Kansas versus Cal Baptist. I'm going to go Jayhawks. Now, Cal Baptist has a player who was the February USBWA Mid-Major Player of the Month in Dominique Daniels Jr. He was a stud and can really fill it up. He's top 5 in the country in scoring nationally. So I wonder if he can actually get going and really heat up here. I wonder if this one might be a little close down the stretch. This game is in San Diego. Cal Baptist doesn't have to travel that far. GP, you good with that? Kansas got to go out to San Diego and Cal Baptist taking a quick bus ride there. You good with that?
I don't love it. I mean, you're really putting Bill Self at an incredible disadvantage against Rick Croy.
That's correct. Rick Croy, solid coach, by the way. Might be in the mix at Pepperdine. We'll see how that works out. I will go. Okay, let's talk through this here. So we make our picks on the show on Sunday night, and I was feeling so good about South Florida, and I still am. But, GP, I get home late last night. I'm sifting through the reactions, reading a bunch of different stuff, checking what some people have posted. Is there a single person in the media picking Louisville to win this game? This to me has gone so far in one direction. It's making me hesitate significantly. The Bulls are good. They have been playing extremely well over the past 2 months. Hodgson's a very good coach. I am truly torn what to do here. I just don't want to go. I hate going all chalk. All right, I'm going to stick with USF, but if Louisville wins this game by 14, I'm going to be furious. Pat Kelsey, do I even have the glasses? Yeah, I do. Listen, don't think I can't go Pat Kelsey at a moment's notice here, but I'm going against him. Look up, GP. Look at us, you and me. Who thought?
We're twins. We're basically twins now.
There we go. I'll go South Florida. I'm doing it reluctantly. I swear I will not change this pick, but it bothers me how many people are picking the Bulls in that game. I will go Michigan State to beat NDSU. I feel like I might be seeing a little bit of some North Dakota State action. We'll see on that. I don't see it personally, but I never know. UCLA over UCF. This is a no hesitation one for me. UCLA has been playing a lot better. Its two best players should be available for this game. UCF gets in and doesn't even go to Dayton where I thought it was going to go. UCF is the lowest rated at-large team that is not Miami University. It's 21-11. This program has dropped 4 of its final 5. It's not good defensively at all. I don't hesitate here, which means I'm probably going to be wrong, but nevertheless, give me UCF. And then I will take UConn over Furman. So hot right now, but not hot enough. Bob Ritchie's team can't get it done in Philly on Friday. Huskies move along. Let's go back up to the top here and talk second round. I'll try and move a little bit more quickly. Duke over Ohio State. How can you not? Ohio State's, that'll be a successful season for sure for year 2 for Jake Diebler. But even with the injury situations, I'm going Duke there. I'm going St. John's over Kansas. Feels like more people than not are also going Johnny's here. I think that's an impact of the Big East double sweep. Zuby Ejiofor and how well he's played this season and played himself into an All-American status. So I'll go Johnny's there. That is a cross-country trip, get through the first game. Hopefully it doesn't have any wear on you, but those are in San Diego as a reminder. And then South Florida, Michigan State. Last night I had South Florida. Do I want to stick with this? This is a Michigan State team that was almost a 2. South Florida doesn't have a top 60 offense in the country. It is good on the offensive glass. Wes Enos is a very solid guard. I like the matchup there just in general with Jeremy Fears. This game's in Buffalo. There'll be Michigan State fans should show up plenty. Oh boy, GP, what do I do? MSU's dropped 2 in a row, but it was at Michigan, understandable, by 40 UCLA. This is Izzo on a 2-day turnaround.
You're not picking against Tom Izzo here. Get on with it.
Man, I hate this though. Like, am I really going to do this chalk nonsense? No, give me the Bulls. I'm going to be wrong, but whatever. Put them through. Bulls on parade. Let's go. We're doing it. Give me the Bulls in the Sweet 16. How many people out there going that zesty? Come on now. And then I will go UConn over UCLA. Mick Cronin goes 1-1 in the Eastern time zone in the entirety of the 25-26 season. Here we go. I'm going to stick with this one. A battle between the 2 best bigs in college basketball. Cam Boozer, Zuby Ejiofor. It's Rick Pitino. It's John Shire. Game would be in D.C. in the East Regional. I'll take St. John's to get to the Elite 8 and upset Duke in the Sweet 16. And then in the bottom half, I will go Huskies over Bulls. And this is not, I'm not doing this for the clicks or the reactions. I did this in real time, and I'm going to stick with it. We are getting a fourth game between Huskies and Johnny's. And I'm going to take the UConn Huskies to go to Indianapolis, which I feel like is kind of a counterculture pick right now, and understandably so. I'm not overly confident in this. This feels like a good good value play here in your office pool. They got a coach who knows a thing or two about winning in March, and a lot of people are going to take Duke. I think you could see some Michigan State love. You might even see some St. John's love here. So I will go UConn. It's all you.
All right, UConn in the Final Four out of the East region for Norlander. I'll keep us moving a little
Oh yeah, I know. You know I'm gonna be long-winded.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Yeah. I'm sitting. I can just sit here and text people and stuff. I'm fine with it. Don't worry about it. Duke Siena, fun coaching matchup. John Shire, Jerry McNamara, yes. two guys who are famous college basketball players. Both won national championships. Both scored more than 2,000 points. But
quick question. Quick question. Whose career would you rather have had at the college level? McNamara wasn't as good of a player as Shire, but they both won national titles. But at Syracuse, there's not as many legends as there is at Duke. Which one would you rather be?
I think, and I'd be happy to be corrected by Syracuse fans or Duke fans, but it feels like Jerry. The coaching thing might change it because like John Shire's about to be like
not including John Shire as a coach at Duke. Yes,
I think Jerry McNamara as a player resonates more at Syracuse than John Shire as a player resonates at Duke.
I think that's true, and yet Shire was the better player. But it's just something I thought about earlier today. I wanted to throw to you on the show.
Obviously, but one of these guys coaches Duke and the other one coaches Siena. So let's
although they could be coaching against each other next season, we'll wait and see how that goes.
You think it's going to go that way?
I think there's a chance. How about this? I'll say 50% Jerry McNamara is the next Syracuse coach right now.
Yeah, I've been peppering my Syracuse colleagues up here. They're eager to find out.
Okay.
Ohio State TCU. I'm going to take the Buckeyes. Bruce Thornton in the NCAA tournament, so we never have to do that thing where, can you believe he led the school in scoring but never played in the tournament? He's going to play in the tournament. I think he's going to get a win. But TCU is 6-1 in the past 7. Sort that data. Top 30 in the country in that stretch. St. John's over Northern Iowa. Johnnies are 19-1 in the past 20. 2 wins over UConn in that stretch. 2 wins over Villanova in that stretch. Kansas over Cal Baptist. I don't love the idea that Rick Roy's so close to home. I don't. Yep. You know how I feel about that kind of stuff. But Bill Self, Darren Peterson, one way or another, they'll get through that. In the bracket I filled out, I do have Louisville over South Florida. So maybe I'm the one person picking Louisville over South Florida, but I did circle back. I might be. I did circle back, and I found the Brian Hodgson press conference from yesterday after it was announced they're going back to play in Buffalo. And that was really sweet, man. Like that makes me, you ready for this? I picked Louisville, but I would be happy to be wrong if Brian could share that moment with his father in person. If you haven't seen the press conference, I thought that was a sweet moment. Go find it. I'll take Louisville over USF. Michigan State over North Dakota State. North Dakota State, 27 wins, 17-2 in their past 19, but I'll take the Spartans to advance. UCLA, USF. Where's this game in Philadelphia?
This game, yes, of course. Mick Cronin complained about the Statue of Liberty. Now he's gonna complain about the statue of Rocky.
Imagine you go to Philly and you decide you want to do you climb the steps and get it all on video.
They should do that, by the way. Like Mick, lean into it. Like, go do that. That would be a huge win.
No, I was going to say, you're just a random Rocky fan doing it, and then you look back at your video a few days later, and you notice in the background it's just Mick Cronin standing over there by the statue, just pissed off, just mad as hell at the whole thing, and then down there cussing out the Liberty Bell. Yes. He goes and looks at the Liberty Bell and says,
over under 0.5 Liberty Bell mentions by Mick Cronin for the entirety of the trip.
Are you raising your bell? Are you raising your bell at me?
Are you raising your bell at me?
Are you raising your bell?
I'm going to say over. I think it gets one Liberty Bell reference, be it day before, media availability. We're getting it some way somehow.
Are you raising your bell at me? What if he takes issue with the Liberty Bell? Are you raising your bell at me?
It'd be amazing. We're all rooting for something like this.
There is no way UCLA can win a game in the Eastern time zone. That's crazy. This is a setup. All right. This is a setup. Johnny Dawkins to the round of 32. UConn Furman. You know how I feel about Bob Ritchie, but
I actually don't, but we can keep it moving.
Let me tell you how I feel about Bob Ritchie. UConn advances. All right. So now we back up. This is where we're about to get interesting, buddy.
Sounds like Bob Ritchie is GP's Nico Medved, if you follow me.
I wouldn't have mind seeing Bob Ritchie get out of that, but it's just a tough ask, to get past the Huskies. Okay, I got Duke, Ohio State, round of 32. I'll take Duke there. Bruce Thornton, man, you had a hell of a career. St. John's and Kansas. I'm taking the Red Storm. 19-1 in their past 20. I don't trust Kansas. You put them in Allen Fieldhouse, anything can happen. You take them out of there. I don't think they played enough together. Darren Peterson and the rest of those guys. I'll take the Red Storm to get out of there. I've got Michigan State over Louisville, UConn over Central Florida. Now we're in the Sweet 16. Oh, buddy. I don't know if you heard. There's this one dude had St. John's #1 in the preseason. He got off to a rough start.
Yeah, that team's a 5 seed, by the way, just so we're all clear.
That coach started hating his team. Then I started hating his team.
Yes.
And that was it. We just sort of left it there. But now here we are. Matched up in the Sweet 16. Me and my Red Storm. Against the number one overall seed in the NCAA tournament.
Come on, Duke.
But they're hurting. Caleb Foster is surgically repaired, but not ready. Patrick Gongba ain't played in a minute. They hurting. Give me the Red Storm. Straight up. They're advancing to the Elite Eight.
I both agree. Oh, no, this is terrible.
Did I maybe spend 4 months looking like an idiot predicting St. John's to be the best team in the country? Yeah, maybe I did. But they're 19-1 in their past 20, and I've got them getting past shorthanded Duke. It's unfortunate that John Shire can't catch a break. Michigan State and UConn, Sweet 16. We're going to advance the Huskies to the Elite Eight. We've got the fourth matchup between St. John's and UConn.
I think that's a squirrel.
And I'm well aware of what I'm doing to myself.
Squirrels. Squirrel person. Squirrels. But a squirrel, I think that's a squirrel.
What do we got?
I know how this is going to go. I've walked this path before. But Rick Pitino and St. John's will get past UConn in the Elite Eight, and the Red Storm will fulfill their prophecy. The Red Storm will make it where they always were supposed to make it, dating back to the offseason, top 25-1. Rick Pitino, with a team he used to hate but now loves, because that's what 19-1 can do to a relationship. The Red Storm go to the Final Four out of the East region as a 5 seed. Rick Pitino continued to make his case as not only one of, but arguably the greatest college basketball coach of all time, and would perhaps have the accomplishments to back that up if he had never been lured away to that evil NBA.
The world is a vampire.
All right. Wow. You actually did it. 5 seed St. John's to Indianapolis.
Isn't it just more fun this way? Isn't it just more fun? This is
one of the biggest takeaways from this show, particularly. We are going to lean into the fun of the picks. He claims he's trying to go 67-0. We just learned that's not going to happen. It's already over. It's over for you. But if you don't have a little fun, what's the fun in it all? We know that a lot of these are going to blow up in our face. Who cares? Let's keep it moving. We're going to the South.
I think we go to the South.
Check out that South region. Let's bring it up on the screen. I'll take us a tour through it, try and move it a little bit more quickly if that's okay by you.
Yeah, we can't say we're going to move a little more quickly and then go slow, all right?
Well, it also might happen. Honestly, that's part of the show.
We sound, you know, we sound like a recently hired basketball coach. We're going to play fast. We're going to get up and down.
Yeah.
And then they come out and they're like 289th in tempo for their entire career.
Ben Jacobson and Tony Bennett on the show right now. I think you took longer to get through that than I did.
Yeah, it's like Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett getting a new job and being like, we're gonna play fast like we always get up and down the court. It's like, hold up. You're not the play fast guy. You're great, but you're not the play fast guy. I'm gonna try to be the play fast guy. I'm gonna get in my Nate Oates a little bit going forward, but you can handle it however you want.
Okay. And I think the plan is for our Tuesday show to have a little more of an in-depth look at some of the first round stuff, so we can keep it moving, I guess.
I'm not trying to get in depth. I don't like getting in depth.
I will be ready. I'll have notes and nuggets, okay?
I don't really want to get in depth.
Notes and nuggets. I got you tomorrow. Okay, Florida's going to move along in the first round over Prairie View or Lehigh. I'm going to take Clemson to beat Iowa. Who the heck knows, man? Iowa runs everything through Sturts. Is that going to be enough? Clemson's got more physicality. I'll go Tigers there. Those games are going to be in Tampa, by the way. Vanderbilt will play McNeese in Oklahoma City. These games will be on Thursday. Vandy, as a reminder, got the short end of the stick as a 5, and with the difficult 12 there. Commodores, I just think with the way they've been playing, the offense that they have, McNeese is a legit team. Like they've got some dudes, they've got some physicality. They've got an endless array of wings, but I will take Vanderbilt in this spot to get it done in what could be a pretty damn entertaining game. Doors move along, and then it's Nebraska. We already know GP's taking Nebraska. I'll take Nebraska as well. We need to see this program finally experience an NCAA tournament win. I think it will. I have to note, though, they're playing Troy. This team did make the tournament a year ago. It wasn't that competitive. It lost to Kentucky, if you've forgotten. Scott Cross still there. And, maybe they've got enough experience to make it interesting, but I don't really hesitate too much on that one. So Nebraska moves along. UNC VCU. We've seen an 11-seeded VCU matched up against a blue blood from the ACC on the 6th line before. That was 07. Shouts to Eric Maynor. VCU was a very trendy pick, and they won. I remember because I picked them that year too. I'll do it. I'll do it here as well. Phil Martelli Jr.'s team has one loss since January 10. It was at St. Louis. It's not an elite group really in any facet, but they play so well together, and they've got real depth. They're hard to beat, and I just wonder where North Carolina is after losing 2 in a row. Understandable losses, but no Caleb Wilson. You're recalibrating with that. I guess that's me back-to-back 11 over 6s. Why not? Let's have some fun here. Illinois to beat Penn. I don't think it'll be close. St. Mary's A&M is, that is so interesting because these teams do not play like each other at all. St. Mary's is a defensive grinding team that is more than okay beating you 62-57. It's the best free throw shooting team in the country, by the way, St. Mary's is. And between Mikey Lewis and Paulius Morauskas, those are two guys that I just like the way they play. Like I've probably seen St. Mary's play 5 or 6 times this year. I love the way they work on the floor as a unit. Meanwhile, A&M up and down the floor, full court press, will launch without abandon, loves to take the 3. If you really dive into the resume, they don't have a lot of really good wins against NCAA tournament level teams. I will go Gales in that one, and then I'll take Houston to beat Idaho. I think that will be the biggest 2 over 15 blowout of the first round. Going on back to the top. Give me the Gators over Clemson for sure. And then Vandy, Nebraska is a tough one for me. I will, I don't know, man. I'll go Vandy. I'll go Vandy here. Either way, see, to me, either one, you're getting, like, no matter what team gets out of there, doesn't matter. Vandy, McNeese, Nebraska, Troy. There's only going to be one of those 4 teams that's going to get out of Oklahoma City into the regional semis in Houston. It's an awesome story. So I love that. No matter what, we're going to feel good about it. I will go Tyler Tanner, Duke Miles, Tyler Nickel, and Co. to get it done. Mark Byington gets to the Sweet 16. Bottom half, I'll take Illinois over VCU. And then I will take Houston to get past St. Mary's. Maybe in a game where we're dialed in late and it's a close one, but the Cougars ultimately get it done. And then, okay, so here we go. Then we get the rematch in the Sweet 16 between Florida and Vanderbilt. They just faced each other. Vanderbilt was able to upend Florida in the SEC semis. They won 91-74. Florida won earlier in the season. They got it done when that game was in Gainesville, but it was a 4-point margin. So if we do get this matchup, be plenty of intrigue with it. They play different styles. Vanderbilt is kind of successful because of what it can do with its guards, led by Tanner more than anyone else. And meanwhile, we know what Florida can do with its front court. I will go Gators in this spot. But I kind of think that Florida Vanderbilt has a chance. There's a lot of potential Sweet 16 games that could be incredible. That one feels like it could be a top 4 or 5 matchup in a regional semi. Bottom half, I've got Illinois versus Houston. Oh boy, that is a grown man varsity game. Houston with its defensive capabilities. And then you've got the Kingston Flemings factor against Keaton Wagler. Please give me this game. Please. That would be awesome. I will go Houston with this spot. Illinois seems to be a team to me that not just when you look at its region, but you look at what it's done over the past month. It's a team that's gone 4-5 down the stretch. Defensively now it's 28th overall in KenPom. Offensively, we don't have that many questions about it. It gets it done. And it's not just Wagler. Merkovich is a really good player. Tomislav Ivicic is, among the better bigs in the country, 7'1", like a real presence there. Kylan Boswell, he can do a lot defensively. Boswell and Flemings could be must-see TV. I'll go Houston there. Florida, Houston in the regional the regional finals. And then I will take Houston to beat Florida.
Home court advantage.
Last season's national title game on an Elite Eight stage. Cougars, with the benefit of the arena in their backyard, get it done and make it all the way to Indianapolis.
Home court advantage. Home court. Looking forward to seeing home court advantage come into play for the 2 seed over the 1 seed. All right. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, someone in the chat's correcting me. Florida won the game at Vandy, not in Gatesville. Might be. Sorry about that. Fact check. Appreciate it. All right. Florida advances, no matter the opponent. That goes without saying. Clemson, Iowa, 2 teams. Iowa's 3-7 in their past 10. Clemson's 4-6 in their past 10. But somebody's got to win. Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. Someone's gonna have a sour taste in their mouth, and they're gonna be like, "Man, we had something going, and it kind of went the wrong way." And then the other team's gonna be like, "You know what? At least we're able to salvage it, and get a win in the tournament before getting romped by Florida."
Okay, let's say Clemson with the sour taste, and Iowa with the salvage.
Yeah.
Iowa advances. Shouts to Bennett Sturts. Vanderbilt, McNeese, Bill Armstrong, 28-5, first year at McNeese. Okay, question.
Yep.
Does this count as a Scott Drew coaching tree? He was at Baylor for 1 year.
That's a good question. I'm going to say no.
We give Josh Pastner to John Calipari.
Was that 1 year?
Yes. I'm going to say yes. And Scott,
but
Scott just got a great. Let's do it.
Are you sure?
Text Scott. Ask Scott what he thinks.
No, let's ask Bryce.
This is Bryce, and I don't care.
Okay,
I assume Bryce would not care whether Bill Armstrong's considered part of the Scott Drew tree or not.
He very much does not.
He couldn't care less. Okay, could not care less. Vandy 5-2 in their past 7. I'll take the Commodores to get past McNeese. Nebraska, Troy, Scott Cross, great story. Fired at UT Arlington, doing great things at Troy. But I mean,
I'll be very, very, very surprised if he's not the coach at Georgia Tech, by the way.
Isn't that fun? I mean, how much do you feel if you're UT Arlington? You fired an alum who's going to go on to be the coach at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I don't know who. I don't remember who made that decision, but looks like a poor one. I think with the benefit of hindsight, we can call it a poor one. Although if I remember correctly, in real time, it seemed confusing.
Yeah.
Anyway, my heart will not allow me to pick against Nebraska. The Cornhuskers have to get their first win in NCAA tournament history. I think it comes at the expense of Troy. UNC VCU, I'm with you. VCU 16-1 in their past 17. I'll take VCU straight up. I just think I know Carolina kept its head above water for the most part in the absence of Caleb Wilson, but at some point that matters. And maybe it's not in the round of 64, but in my quest to go 67-0, I will take the Rams over North Carolina. I got Illinois over Penn, but shouts to Fran McCaffrey for even being in this position.
By the way, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
If Fran McCaffrey wins this game, he's 1-8 in his last night against Brad Underwood. It was already decided today on Twitter. If Fran beats Illinois, Tom Fornelli has to sit on the Eye on College Basketball podcast for a full hour. So that is his punishment.
Just sit there and just sit there silently.
He will speak when called upon.
Okay, can only speak when spoken to.
Yes,
I like that. That's kind of the way I like to do shows.
Yeah, Fornelli, we fully expect your team to win and to win comfortably, but we got to see it first. That is a TNT tip Thursday night, approximately 9:25 out of Greenville, by the way.
I got St. Mary's over Texas A&M. Spoiler, I'm going to have 3 WCC teams advancing. I want I want 3 of the final 32 to be from the West Coast Conference. I've got Houston over Idaho. I like a good Vandal. I can appreciate a good Vandal.
I know that's a top 5. That might be a top 5 moniker in the bracket, by the way.
The Vandals is great.
Love it.
Love the Vandals, but I don't think they can deal with Houston while Houston's on its way to Houston. Florida, Iowa. I've got Florida over there. Like Bennett Sturts is just one dude, and Florida's got a lot more. Florida's got a lot more players the caliber of Bennett Sturts than Iowa does. Iowa's got like one Bennett Sturts caliber player. Florida's got more than one. The Gators advance. Vandy, Nebraska. Come on, Fred Hoiberg, get you a second win. Go ahead and get you 2. Go ahead and get you 2. Nebraska not only gets its first win in the NCAA tournament, goes to its Sweet 16, first Sweet 16 in school history. Illinois, VCU. This is where I do have it ending for the Rams. Brad Underwood to the Sweet 16. I've got Houston over St. Mary's. Florida over Nebraska. Fred Hoiberg, magical season, ends in the Sweet 16. Todd Golden back to the Elite 8. I've got Houston over Illinois. Yes, I've got it set up. 1 versus 2 in the South Region Final. Florida playing at an incredible disadvantage that I fundamentally think is unfair, loses to the Houston Cougars. Kelvin Sampson back in the Final Four. Kelvin Sampson 2 wins away from a national championship. Florida fans complaining all night about why they had to play a road game as the 1 seed. And don't ever forget, I was arguing on your behalf on March 15th, and Matt Norlander tried to shame me with bracketing principles.
Okay. That's the left side of the bracket. We agree on the team out of the South. We both got the Cougs.
And Florida fans, if you don't like the way this is going and you would like your voices heard, you could get in there in these little chats, in these little comment sections where all the Houston fans are yelling at me, even though Houston's like my favorite team. Now I got Houston fans yelling at GP. Don't you know Houston had to play Purdue and Indiana? Yes, I know. We said it in the stupid clip.
Okay,
but there's 18 people who would type it in the comments without recognizing.
No, ignore the comments.
Hey, this guy covers college basketball. He probably is aware that Houston played Purdue last season.
Let him get
all right?
in your head. All right, let's go.
I'm just saying, Florida fans, I'm out there. I'm not fighting on your behalf. I'm fighting on the behalf of what I think should be new and improved bracketing principles. But if you want to call a Houston fan, if you want to get in there and call Houston fan names on my behalf, I wouldn't object.
West Region, top right of your bracket. These games are going to have San Diego, Portland, and St. Louis feed into the regional. All right. Love to see that, Josh. Just says we're absolutely cooking with gas on this live episode on a Monday afternoon. Love to see it. Everyone watching right now, smash that like button like you're Brandon Davies. There's more of us. That should be reflected in the number of likes as we go along here. I will go. Arizona obviously moving along, but I do love that we have Rod Strickland coaching at LIU and the Sharks. They got to take the circuitous route, by the way. Sharks, that's a long. You got to take what canal we going through? Is that the Suez? If you go from Long Island, you got to swim there as a shark. We go into the Suez Canal.
The only one I know about now is that strait where all the oil comes from.
Yeah.
I know, man.
By the way, wow, I am atrocious. The Suez Canal is between Africa and Asia. That is awful by me.
Man, that strait, boy. That seems like that's a wild scene up in that strait.
It is the Panama Canal. You absolute dolt. Suez.
The Suez Canal?
Suez Canal. I guess theoretically you can get there some way. If you're a shark and you got to go from Long Island to San Diego, which is, by the way, where the games are going to be played, you got to take the Panama Canal.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Gosh. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, I've got Arizona winning the game for the record.
Has anybody thought about trying to, can we just move the oil through the Suez Canal? Would that work? Maybe we got to give up on this strait.
Explored all options.
The strait seems a little dangerous these days. Maybe we should try the Suez Canal.
All right, first round, second game in the bracket here. Who's calling me? Nope, sorry, I can't pick it up right now. All right, Villanova versus Utah State in the 8-9. Seems to me Utah State's the overwhelming pick here. Do I just go counter here? Do I? I don't know. Should I do it? Should I flip a coin? Do I even have a coin? GP, who do you have in this one? Spoil it for me. Utah State or Villanova?
But you think a man gonna stay up till 2:00 every Tuesday watching the Mountain West and then pick against MJ Collins? What are you talking about? You know, I stay up. I stay up with MJ Collins more than I stay up with my family. What are you talking about?
I'm flipping it. Give me Nova. I've had Utah State. There's way too many people on Utah State. I'm running counter. So when this is Utah State, this happened, I think, the past 2 years on the show. There were some 8-9, some 7-10 where I had it. I was like, nope, I'm switching it, and I was going to be wrong. This is going to happen to me again. I'm stupid. All right. Wisconsin, High Point. I picked High Point last night. Wisconsin's playing so well. High Point is 92 at Ken Palm, 30-4 on the season, longest win streak in the country, 14 in a row. It's top 5 in the country in not turning the ball over and turning teams over. It's deep. It has not played a tough schedule. It's not a big team. It's got some shooting ability. 1 loss since December 14. Got to live a little. Got to have some fun. I think Wisconsin's going to probably win the game, but whatever. I'm sticking with it. 12/5. High Point gets it done. This game will be in Portland, by the way. So I'll stick there. And then I will go Arkansas to beat Hawaii. Just for fun, over under. Darius Acuff, 29.5 points in this game, GP.
Oh, over. Everything I always say about Darius Acuff is going to be over.
Yeah. Oh, something I don't know that I'd be curious.
Except here's the thing. They could be up 23 and you pull him with 7 minutes to go.
That's true. That could be on the table. Hawaii is your automatic bid champion out of the Big West, and they won that late Saturday. This game is Thursday. There's no way in hell that team went back to Hawaii. So I'm curious what the packing situation was there, because they would have made no sense for them to hop on a plane and fly home Sunday and return. So they had to legitimately pack for a week and a half long trip. Aron Gano, coach of the Bows. We'll see if they can do something. They get the benefit, stay in the West Coast, Portland for the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors there. Also in Portland, BYU will play the winner of NC State, Texas. NC State, Texas, I will go Texas in that game. Sean Miller coached in it a year ago. Interesting note, Sean Miller had never coached a team that was truly on the bubble until last season. He's now had to do it 2 years in a row and has had the good fortune of breaking through 2 consecutive seasons. NC State, it's got a variety of guys who I had a note on NC State that I was going to toss you. You know what? I'll save it for tomorrow. I'll go Texas to win that, and then I'll take BYU and AJ DeBonsa to beat Texas. I think we mentioned this on the Sunday show. That would be DeBonsa going against his idol's alma mater. I'll have BYU into the second round. Gonzaga over Kennesaw State. Big question with Gonzaga is Braden Huff. When is he going to be available? And when he is, how effective is he going to be? So Gonzaga is a 3, and deservingly so, but I don't necessarily believe that it is a threat to get to the Final Four if it's not going to have Huff available. Kind of a tough deal there. They've been able to manage mostly without him, but he's been missing for a bit here. Miami versus Missouri is going to be in St. Louis. Again, that's Missouri, a 10 in St. Louis. I'll still take the Canes. I like them in that matchup. I think they have more overall talent. Jay Lucas done a really good job in year 1. I'll take Miami to move along. And then obviously Purdue over Queens in the first round. Back up to the top. Arizona get past Villanova. It's a fun little battle to write into the bracket, by the way. You write out Zona, you write out Nova. It's very, very fulfilling. Real ones know what I'm talking about. Wisconsin, I have losing, so I'll have High Point, Arkansas. How can I not take Arkansas? And sometimes the tournament has a way of doing this to us, where we've got either a player or a team, and going into it in the leading 2 or 3 weeks, the vibes are tremendous. They're looking good. You're like, how could I not possibly pick this team to win at least 2 or 3 games, right? Arkansas is an exact example of this. And if it didn't make the Sweet 16, I would be fairly shocked. But sometimes the tournament, that's what nature of the beast, man. So head on a swivel. I don't think it's an automatic that the Hogs get there, but I'm writing them through regardless to get to the West Regional, where I will be in a week and a half or a little less than that. I will take the Cougars of BYU to beat Gonzaga with the idea that Huff isn't playing, and the defense that I saw show up in the Big 12 tournament on BYU's behalf still gets it done, and that means back-to-back Sweet 16 runs for Kevin Young. And then I'll have Purdue over Miami. getting it done there. Braden Smith. By the way, Braden Smith's going to break the all-time assist record, Bobby Hiller's record in the Queens game. He needs 2 to set that record. That's an inevitability. Sweet 16, I will go Arizona over Arkansas. Acuff, Burries, Bradley, Pete, Malik Thomas, Billy Richmond. The amount of talent on the floor in that game, please give it to me. I really, really want to see that game in the Sweet 16. That could be as good and as entertaining as maybe any on the board here, GP. And then, yeah, here we go. This is how I just torch my bracket. I'm gonna go BYU over Purdue. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna say DeBonsa doesn't score under 30 in any tournament game. I'm going to say the defense shows up in a significant way. Rob Wright pulls it together. I know there's no Richie Saunders. That's a problem. But you're going to see Kei Bakeda hit a new level. Kennard Davis steps up, even shoots beyond his current averages from three-point range. And the role players improve all the more. So I'm very aware that I could be picking a team that will lose to its first-round opponent coming out of the first 4. But got to live a little, take a big swing, and I will have the Cougars versus the Wildcats in the Elite 8. I just so happen to see these two teams play each other in Provo back, GP, that's been 6-7 weeks. Arizona won that game. It was close, 86-83. I will have Arizona winning that one again, and the Wildcats, my first 1 seed into the Final Four.
All right. I'll be quick, or at least quicker. Arizona over LIU. Fins up. Wonderful story, but it ends right here. Villanova, 0-4 against UConn St. John's. Only 2 quadrant 1 wins, 0 in the year 2026.
What did I do?
They didn't beat nobody in forever.
What's wrong?
And they barely beat anybody all year.
Have I made a grave mistake?
I mean,
who's picking Villanova?
There are dozens of us.
Okay.
Me and MJ Collins. Me and MJ Collins. I can't tell you how many nights we stayed up. He's a
baller, man. I may change this pick back before we get to Thursday. I'm letting you know right now.
I spent too many nights up late with MJ Collins to pick against him now. Utah State over Villanova. V's down. Wisconsin, High Point. I'll take Wisconsin to get out of that. But High Point is 92nd at KenPom, 30-4. Like, that would be, if I were like a middle of the pack power conference team, like I'd rather play another middle of the pack power conference team than somebody that won 30 times. I don't like, I mean, Wisconsin will be physically and all that stuff, but 30-4, a top 100 team, like that's a real game. I'll take Wisconsin to get by them. Arkansas, Hawaii, Acuff is on a roll right now. I don't have Arkansas, spoiler alert, going to the Final Four, but he is the type of guard who could go on one of those Kimba runs, Shabazz Napier runs, and get a team somewhere in the bracket further than the number next to its name suggest was the likely scenario. I certainly got him getting out of the first round. Acuff could take them anywhere. BYU, Texas. I've got Texas getting past NC State, then BYU over Texas. I'd like to get that game just because I like hearing Sean Miller talk about NBA players. He was great on Acuff. I'd like to hear what he says about DeBonsa here. Gonzaga, Kennesaw State, the Braden Huff thing. Remember, the initial timeline was 4 to 8 weeks. We're past that. We're past the 8. And so this has not gone well. I think we talked about it either when I was in Spokane or right afterwards, and I sort of noted I wasn't hearing good things about it. Hopefully he's back in uniform sometime soon, but I don't like the idea of, I mean, you will if he's healthy, you're going to play him. He's super talented, but just dropping somebody into a rotation after they've been gone for 8-9 weeks in a single elimination tournament, it's unfortunate that it's played out this way, but it's not going to cost him in the round of 64. I've got Miami over Missouri. Jay Lucas gets his first win in the NCAA tournament. Purdue over Queens. Don't mess this up, Purdue. Braden Smith's college career could not end with one of those. Yeah. Now we're in the round of 32. I've got Arizona over Arkansas. That Arizona team.
The Sweet 16.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I've got Arizona over Utah State.
Okay.
Arkansas over Wisconsin. Then I'll get Arizona over Arkansas. We'll get back to there in a minute. I've got Gonzaga past BYU. DeBonsa's great. I just don't. And I know they won a game here or there in Richie Saunders' absence, but broadly speaking, that has not been a very good basketball team since he went down. I will take Gonzaga to get past BYU. I've got Purdue over Miami. Back up. Arizona over Arkansas. So Arizona into the Elite Eight. I've got Purdue still winning after securing the Big Ten tournament title over the weekend, advancing to the Elite Eight. And then I've got Arizona over Purdue. Arizona, my first 1 seed, also in the Final Four. And if you were to ask me, and I know you didn't, but if you were to ask me, of any of your Final Four picks or 1 seed picks, which one do you feel best about getting to Indianapolis? It is Arizona. I think that's the safest pick in this bracket to get to the Final Four based on caliber of team and caliber of possible obstacles along the way.
You've got Purdue in the Elite Eight. And if it was 5 days ago, I don't think you would necessarily have Purdue in the Sweet 16. So
I think I would always have them in the Sweet 16 out of respect for the program, but I'm not somebody who can get all the way to the point where I just watched them win the Big Ten tournament. Now they're what they were supposed to be. That team was really bad defensively for an extended stretch, and they have been better and can be better, but they're not going to turn into elite defensively all of a sudden. And that Duke, Michigan, Arizona trio, if we're talking about national championship contenders, and that's what Purdue was described as heading into this thing, like those teams are 1, 2, and 3 in all the metrics, but also specifically adjusted defensive efficiency. You got to be able to guard to win this tournament, I think. And I don't know that they guard well enough to win this tournament, but I do think they can play well enough to go to the Elite Eight and, maybe even the Final Four. But that national championship goal, I'm not ruling anything out, but it's hard to see. I guess I'd put it that way.
Yeah, as a couple folks in the chat pointed out, as worth mentioning for our audio listeners, there are a couple teams here that can play some defense, but a lot of teams in this region are way more offensively focused. Like there are some teams that have some real lack of defensive prowess, and you almost wonder if it's a race in that regard to see who gets out and gets to Indianapolis out of the region. But Arizona will definitely be, by nature of it being Purdue at the 2, being Gonzaga at the 3, that's not at full strength, and even like Arkansas, a good team, but not, it's a team with 8 losses. Arizona is going to be the overwhelmingly popular pick to get to the Final Four out of this region in your office pool, and it will be, in my opinion, the most popular 1 seed picked into the Final Four. Let's go to the Midwest region, bottom right of your bracket. These games are going to be played in Buffalo, Tampa, Philly, and St. Louis as they feed into Chicago for the regionals, I should say. Michigan will obviously beat UMBC or Howard. We can have a little bit of fun with UMBC if it beats Howard in the first 4, given that's another 16-1 situation there. And I'll be actually curious to see if UMBC wins, the line going to be bigger, wider than it was when UMBC defeated Virginia back in 2018. Georgia St. Louis does feel, talking about no defense, this feels like a race to 100. St. Louis actually has good effective field goal percentage defense, and St. Louis has been slipping. 28-5 record, but they know how to score. Like they are a very good second half team. They run good stuff. They can get to the 10. They've got guys who can shoot from deep. They rank 2nd in 3-point percentage in the country. St. Louis does. Meanwhile, Georgia, let me pull this up right now real quick here, GP. I think Georgia is 2nd in points per game. Let me bring this up. Georgia right now. Ooh, no, they have dropped 89.8. They're down to 7th. There was a good chunk of the season where Georgia was scoring more per game than anyone in the country. And if it wasn't Georgia, it was actually Miami U. I will go SLU here, but I don't love it. Georgia's got a couple of dudes. Kenny Catchings, to me, he's already a good player, but like he's going to hit another level. And then Wilkinson's good as well. I will go SLU there. Tech versus Akron. I'm going to go Tech. This is the kind of game that I feel like I usually fall into a trap with. Tech's a deserving 5. I think that's fine for them. 3-3 since Toppin went down in the midst of that Arizona State loss on the road. Still a really good 3-point shooting team. And it's not just Anderson. Donovan Atwell is even better from beyond the arc. Jalen Petty can hit from deep. If you get some good contributions out of Lawan Watts there, I just McCaslin's a really good coach. Gross is as well, like for sure. 29-5 team, top 70 at Ken Palm. Like Akron can win the game. They have one loss since January 3rd, but I will go with Tech. It's got, I don't know, man. It's got so much more, to me, physicality. It's not like immensely bigger, but Akron's a smaller team. That being said, that team they've got a lot of experience. That's a fun one there. I'm going to go Alabama to beat Hofstra. I reserve the right to change my mind on this. Since we've gone live, Tuscaloosa police say Aiden Holloway, who was arrested, early on Monday, I suppose, will be charged with first-degree possession of marijuana not for personal use. He was caught with essentially a pound, maybe a little more than a pound, which that's a felony. It's a Class C felony. There's this thing with the tax stamp. I'm out of my element, Donnie. I don't even know, but he is out. He had $5,000 bond. The question is, will he be available? Will he even travel with the team? Alabama's got to get on a plane to fly to Tampa. I don't know. I'll take him to beat Hofstra for now, but I genuinely want to see how this story evolves over the next 24 to 48 hours. It's a wild one, man. I mean, you got a player busted for having a whole, it's in Alabama, like having a whole bunch of marijuana, just a huge stash. I mean, college basketball, it never ceases to amaze, Parrish. Like, this was the thing where, like, just a busy Monday, right? Not as busy as it has been, but we're getting stuff together. We're prepping. We're doing hits, all this. And you see this hit the timeline, and you're like, hold on. What? Am I reading this correctly? Is this actually happening? Of all the programs in Alabama, what is happening? What is this charge? And it's a felony. I don't know. I would assume if a felony charge is against you for allegedly, like if I'm reading this correctly, it was not for personal use. So by nature of that definition, you're looking to distribute. What?
Are you about to have a party? One of the two. You are either distributing / selling.
I'm assuming that wasn't for medical use. I'm guessing we don't have a glaucoma situation with Alabama starting point guard.
Listen, I ain't gonna speak on that, but I mean, that's either a party or you're distributing, one of the two. In all seriousness, and I'm not trying to bring up old stuff. I'm just trying to provide context for the conversation we're having. Keep in mind, Brandon Miller never missed any time for the incident he was involved in a few years ago. You can Google that if you want. And, Nate Oates is like on the record, different topic, but is on the record making it clear this year when he was justifying enrolling Charles Bediako, he more or less said, my job is to win basketball games. That's what I'm here to do. That's why I get paid. And if you apply that same logic to this, what do?
We'll find out soon.
Let me just, so there's no wiggle room. If this were my alma mater, I would not want this young man representing us on a national stage in the same week where he got a felony charge. And I want to be clear, it's also 2026.
There's also that.
I got no problem. It's 2026. I got no problem with weed anymore. I got no problem with a young person smoking any more than I got a problem with a young person drinking. I don't care. But like if my adult son got busted with a pound of weed in his apartment, I would be like, yo, man, I ain't mad that you had weed, really, but like a pound, what are you doing? What are you doing? And you put yourself at real risk by just making a poor decision. It's one thing to have a bag, a bag of edibles. It's another thing to have something that could be leading to a felony charge. So listen, I'm not gonna preach. I was young too and made tons of poor decisions. But you are a basketball player getting ready for the NCAA tournament, and you have created with a poor decision, at best a poor decision. You've created a negative headline for your university and put your coach and your athletic director in a really bad spot. They can do whatever they want. I promise I won't care one way or another too much. But I think if I were running the program, I don't think he would play. At least not in. I don't know. I'd have to talk it through, but this is not ideal. Let's just put it that way.
I initially thought this was for like some minor possession. And so my instant reaction was like, he's going to play, and why wouldn't he? It's 2026. What are we doing? And then you learn what's actually happening here. It's like, okay, that does change the perspective on a little bit. Just one hell of a headline, man. Of all the schools. Okay. Tennessee going to play the winner of SMU and Miami. I'm not, when I got home late, GP, after we podcasted, I flipped on Bracket Breakdown on CBS Sports Network, watched a good 30, 45 minutes as I tore through, and I did hear you talk about this game. We are in lockstep. Sure, pick SMU. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to everyone listening. Like, they're a 7.5 point favorite. I get it. I'm going to lean into the story. Like, right. If we're wrong, who cares? Like, I'd love to see it happen. I'm going to pick Miami to beat SMU. And yeah, what the hell? Why not? I don't care. I'm taking Miami to win a game. Josh, click them over. Yep. Miami beats Tennessee. That is a long shot. I am very aware. Miami is going to need to shoot better than 40% from three, and Tennessee will destroy that team on the offensive glass. It will be carnage, but stranger things have happened. We once saw the smallest team in the country beat a team that was the number 1 seed with Zach Edey. So it wouldn't be the biggest shocker. Nevertheless, we'll lean into it and have a little fun. I will take Virginia to get past Wright State with Ryan Odom. Man, what a start for that team in that program in year one. 29 wins and almost certainly going to get to 30. That's good stuff for the Wahoos. Kentucky, Santa Clara, I'm still here. As I was 24 hours ago. I got no idea on this game. I got no idea whatsoever. I think I've got Santa Clara in my CBS bracket. Yeah, let's go Gales. Gales. That's St. Mary's. Let's go Broncos. Let's go Clara. Get it done. All right, Santa Clara into the second round, and then Iowa State. Back up to the top. I'll go Michigan over SLU. I will go. Man. I've got Tech versus Bama in this spot right now. I'm going Texas Tech right now, I guess. Subject to change, but for the purposes of this show right now, yes, I will go Texas Tech to the Sweet 16. And then I'll have Virginia moving along to the regional semis, beating Miami. And then I will have Iowa State moving along as well, getting past Herb Sendek's team. And then, man, I did not want. What do I have here? It's too much chalk. Whatever. All right. Give me Michigan, and then give me Iowa State to get past Virginia. And then I will go Iowa State, which I've had from the get-go. My final 4 teams, I won't change. I think I'm going to stick with this. I'll go down with the ship. I'll go Iowa State to Indianapolis.
All right. Michigan obviously advances out of the round of 64. I've got them playing St. Louis in the round of 32. I've got St. Louis over Georgia, but St. Louis is like kind of like went from this incredible story.
I know.
And like 4-4 in their past 8.
I know.
I know there's
Georgia was a total flop last year in the tournament. I think they played Gonzaga. They were a no-show. Now it's a little bit of a different team, but I kind of can't get that out of my head.
I'll take Texas Tech over Akron and Alabama over Hofstra. Then, I've got Tennessee knocking out whoever it plays, Miami, Ohio, SMU. Like you said, I don't know that outside of like the national championship contenders, anybody has more pressure on them in this tournament than Miami, Ohio, just in terms of perspective. There's going to be a whole army of folks who can't wait to tell them they were never any good, that they never belonged if they don't win a game. And so I'd like for them to not have to hear that for the rest of their lives. So I'll take Miami, Ohio for the sake of the story over SMU, but then I've got them eliminated in the round of 64 by Tennessee. I've got Virginia over Wright State, Santa Clara over Kentucky. That's going to be one of those that's going to sound like a big upset. It's not. Like those teams cost different amounts of money, but they're not really different caliber of teams. based on the way they've played through 19 weeks of the season. I told you earlier I'm going to have 3 WCC teams in at least the round of 32. That means I had to get Santa Clara past the Wildcats in the round of 64. I've got Iowa State over Tennessee State. Circling back, Michigan over SLU. I've got Alabama over Texas Tech in the bracket that I filled out. But given that Holloway news, I'll flip that to Texas Tech. Texas Tech over Alabama. I've got Virginia over Tennessee, Iowa State over Santa Clara, then Michigan over Texas Tech, Michigan to the Elite Eight. Iowa State, Virginia should be terrific. But I got Iowa State getting past the Cavaliers. Then I've got Michigan over Iowa State, another 1 seed. So my final 4 is St. John's, Houston, Arizona, Michigan, 2 1 seeds, a 2 seed, and a 5 seed.
I like that you got the 5 seed there. Something about the Midwest to me, that region, I'm smelling chaos. And I didn't have it in my picks, but I'm smelling a little bit of something there. Okay, let's get to our final 4s. Actually, before we get to our final 4, one quick thing. Whole bracket, take a look at it. Which, even though it's not likely, and I want to dive into this a little bit more on tomorrow's podcast, which team that is 12 or worse do you give the best chance to get to the Sweet 16? 12 or worse. I'll go first because I've got South Florida right now, so that doesn't count. They're in 11. I think of all of them on the board, because we typically get this in a given tournament. We didn't get it last year. Arkansas was a 10 and was the only double-digit seed. I think you got to be a 12 or worse. I'm taking into their potential matchups with this as well, Parrish. I feel like the answer is McNeese. If they can get past Vandy, I could see them matching up well with Nebraska. There are 12 in the South in the bottom left of your bracket. This is admittedly some dart throwing, but I just off the top of your head, which one do you think might be the team to do it?
Okay, so there's 2. Let me be clear. I don't think anybody seeded 12th or worse will be in the Sweet 16. But best chance to do it? Look at a team like Akron, because in the round of 64, you get a Texas Tech team without JT Toppin. I know they've still been good in moments without JT Toppin, but they're still without their best player. And then in the round of 32, if you win that one, you could play shorthanded Alabama, or at least Alabama dealing with some distractions. Yep. So perhaps that's set up for them. The other one, again, not predicting it, but could I see it? High Point, getting past Wisconsin. And then, every once in a while, John Calipari has gotten caught early in an NCAA tournament. Again, I'm not predicting it, but if you're looking for 12 seeds or worse, High Point, Akron might make some sense. Before we get to our final 4s, can we get a word from? It's probably me, if we're being honest. Probably just me.
Let's do it. Here we go.
This is Gary Parrish. I have a confession. The confession is that sometimes, I hit an afternoon wall. Say, in between doing the Eye on College basketball podcast and, walking to the broadcast center for a night in studio, I realized I probably didn't get enough rest. I need some caffeine. I want something sweet, but not like some big sugary drink. And that's why I'm obsessed with the new Fruity Rainbow shots from 5 Hour Energy. They seriously taste like a handful of classic rainbow candy, bright, juicy, and fun, but with a caffeine kick built in. It's like caffeine finally got that flavor glow up it always deserved. And with 17 flavors total in the 5 Hour Energy lineup, there is something for every mood. But this Fruity Rainbow launch is all about that bold, sweet, fruity chaos. What do I love most? It's the big flavor in that tiny portable 2-ounce bottle. I can throw it in my bag, keep one in my car, stash it at my desk, golf bag. It's no bulky can, no sticky wrappers, no sugar crash. It's a 0 sugar treat that's totally sweet tooth approved, so it feels indulgent, but it's actually practical. If you're going to grab caffeine anyway, it might as well taste like candy. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5 Hour Energy shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. So it turns out we forgot to build, and by we, I mean me, I forgot to build.
I'm right here with you.
Forgot to build breaks into the show. Just slipped my mind.
We're just building a bracket. It's what happens.
Been talking nonstop since 9:40. Like
you get lost in this bad boy here.
Been talking nonstop since 9:40. I can't wait buddy. As soon as this thing is over, I'm not going to say another word to a human the rest of the night unless my wife FaceTimes. No other human gets to hear me speak the rest of the night. It's
That's
over.
a deal.
I'm just going to sit here and be quiet the rest of the night. So here's what we're going to do. Norlander, you're going to give me your teams that are going to advance to the title game. You're going to give me your national champion.
Yep.
And then we have to, I'm sorry. Then we're going to take one more break and then come back. Then I'm going to give you my teams that'll play for the title and my national champion. And then we'll shout out Devin Downey, and I'm gonna take a nap probably, if we're being honest. How's that sound?
And for everyone watching on YouTube, they're gonna get to see Chat GP. As you got dubbed last night in the chat, we're gonna get to hear Chat GP.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm really looking forward to that. Do you realize every time we do that, I go, let's hear a word from our partners, and then I go, I rip my ear out, go down here, so that I don't have to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it.
It's too good. All right, let's bring up that bracket again, Josh, if we could. My final four. This will not change, I guess. I promise, I hope, I think. I've got UConn and Houston on the left side of the bracket playing in Indy. Those are a couple of 2 seeds. I'll take the Cougars to get it done against the Huskies and win and get back to the national title game. If we get Dan Hurley and Kelvin Sampson and matching wits in that game, that would be outstanding. And by virtue of this, I have Huskies 3 times in 4 years making the Final Four. And I do admit, like, that's with the way that UConn has looked coming down the stretch, it's a little bit harder of a sell. Again, I just think it happens to be a good value play to get them to the Final Four. As always, we'll see. And I'm very, very willing, able, and ready to be wrong. On the right side, I've got Arizona against Iowa State. And what do we have here, folks? What do we have in this incredible, unforgettable, epic season that we've got and been gifted with so far? I have, not by intention, it's just I filled out the bracket and then I realized on the desk last night, look what I've got. I've got a rematch of probably the best game of the entire season, which just went down last Friday in Kansas City. Arizona 82, Iowa State 80, Jaden Bradley with the buzzer beater. Incredible play up and down the floor, both sides. Milan Momcilovic had 8 3-pointers in that game. We saw Jaden Bradley be an absolute stud. Anthony Del Orso had his career high. I've got these teams squaring off again in the Final Four. Cyclones fans, I know you're thrilled I got you to the Final Four, at least I would think, but I got you losing here. I got Arizona getting it done. So I have yet another Big 12 matchup. And yes, I have another battle between Houston and Arizona. This is a rematch of the Big 12 championship game. It would be the 3rd matchup between these 2 teams, not just this season, but when it happens, it would be the 3rd time. And I think 7 weeks span. Arizona won at Houston back in February. It won against Houston by 5 in the title game, but I don't have them going 3-0. Give me the Cougars to win the national championship and beat Arizona in a classic. Kelvin Sampson gets his title and gets, fulfills after a year ago being 1 shot away. They get it done here. I find Houston to be one of the best value plays as a 2 seed to pick to win your office pool. You're going to see a lot of people going with Duke. Casuals that don't know about the Foster situation. You'll see a lot of people pick Florida because they won the title a year ago. They're going to see Florida with the 1 next to its name again, and that's going to obviously make plenty of sense why they're going to do that. You're going to see Arizona because Arizona is going to be the most popular title pick of any team in this bracket, and you'll see Michigan because Michigan's a huge brand from the Big Ten that's on TV a lot and has won a lot of games in high-profile fashion by destroying other teams. They're all viable. They can all win the national title. In my opinion, Houston is just as capable, has the experience, has the talent, has the coaching. So why not take a shot? Give me the Cougars to cut down the nets.
Norlander with Kelvin Sampson at the age of 70 getting a national championship. Who will GP pick? We'll find out next. But first, let's get one more word from our partners. March is here, and if you've ever followed the tournament, you know one thing. The only predictable thing is the chaos. Upsets, buzzer beaters, Cinderella runs. It's the best kind of unpredictable, and that's exactly why DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is built for March. The tournament is unexpected. Rewards are guaranteed, and DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering some of the most generous rewards in the market. What I like about DraftKings, it is the live betting. With DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're not betting on what might happen later. You're betting on what's happening right now while the game unfolds. Momentum shifts, big plays, last-second drama. You can get in on the action as it happens. And if you're new to DraftKings, it's the perfect time to jump in. Just bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code I. That's code I, EYE, to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets instantly. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager text pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states, void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
Never gets old.
I'll tell you one thing. I think I'm a pretty good reader.
You are, for sure.
I mean, I think I'm pretty good at reading.
What's that Final Four?
So my Final Four is, of course, St. John's, Houston, Arizona, and Michigan.
Yes. We only agree on one team. Two teams, sorry, Houston and Arizona.
You know how I feel about my Red Storm. But you also know
I do. You claim to hate them.
No, that's old. No, we're back together now. We're back together. We got back together.
This usually works out well. Volatile relationship.
You didn't hear we got back together? We went through counseling. We got some help.
Yeah.
We needed to get some help.
Okay.
But we're on good terms now. All right. It was bumpy. Everybody knows it was bumpy. But we're on good terms now. We're back together. Me and the Red Storm. You know how I feel about my Red Storm, but you also know how I feel about my Kelvin Sampson. I'm taking Houston over St. John's. The Red Storm's magical run. It ends right there.
Okay.
On the other side, I've got Arizona and Michigan, 2-1 seeds. These are two of the three teams that have been at the tip top of the sport basically the entire season. I could see either one winning. I've got Michigan advancing. I've got Michigan and Houston playing for a national championship. And if I could write it, I think the best story you could write in this NCAA tournament, outside of Bob Ritchie.
We do not have the same title winner, do we?
I think the best story would probably be Bob Ritchie getting it done for Furman. All right. But short of that, give me shot clock off, down 2. We're in Indy. Houston's got the ball. Emmanuel Sharp comes off a Kingston Flemings finds him, and he pulls. True buzzer beater, bang Jay Wright style, after not being able to get a shot off in the final seconds of the title game a year ago. Emmanuel Sharp buries it. Houston, national champion. Kelvin Sampson, national champion. Emmanuel Sharp, most outstanding player in the Final Four. Kingston Flemings, future Memphis Grizzly.
Okay. Didn't need that part, but okay. Do we dare dream? Yes, we do.
Yes, I'm dreaming.
That would be as storybook as it possibly gets in a tournament and in a sport that empowers such incredible stories to happen. We'll see if we're right. You and me, same title winner. Feel like 3 or 4 of the past 6 tournaments, we have actually been on the same page with some of these title picks. I could be entirely wrong, but that's
we either going to be the smartest podcast or the dumbest podcast. And
we're ready for both.
I'm pretty sure I know which one.
I'll stay.
Either way.
I'm pretty sure I know which one.
We're going to be back tomorrow with another one. So with that in mind, that's a show.
Yes. Ain't nobody else get to hear my voice the rest of the night. I will not talk. Even if I go to dinner, I'm just going to text my orders. No talking for me. Got to rest my voice. Rest my voice for March. You know, real TV people actually do like rest their voice and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't rest my voice at all. I'm going to try it tonight.
Right.
Shouts to Devin Downey. Shouts to Chester, South Carolina. Shouts to Terry Teagle. He's a legend. Huck and Larnell. Thank you guys once again for watching and listening to the Eye on College Basketball Podcast. If you're not subscribed, please go subscribe anywhere you subscribe to podcasts, Apple and Spotify. More of us than there are of them. That should be reflected in the comments. So do that, and we're going to talk to you again on Tuesday.
I think so. We'll figure it out. Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. It's coming one way or another. I don't know when it's coming.
That's what she said.
Okay.
All right. We'll see at some point real soon.